Hello, children. Hope finds you all in the best of your health and safety. Today, we are going to learn more about nouns. Previously, we have learned that nouns name a person, place, animal, or a thing. We had also learned that there are kinds of nouns like proper noun, which is the name of a particular person, common noun, name which is given to many of the same kind. Material noun, which is the name of the material out of which something has been made. Collective noun, a group of something, either animals or things, is a collective noun. A name which is given to that group is collective noun. Abstract noun, the noun which is given to your feelings, your emotions, is your abstract noun. And today we'll be learning about countable and uncountable nouns. So let's start. In our book on page number 9, it's given in the green cloud that countable nouns are these which can be counted in terms of numbers. Most of the common and collective nouns are countable nouns. These can be expressed in singular and plural form. A pen, one student, few apples, many children, etc. So now children, as the word countable itself tells us that something counted is there. So that means the nouns, the things which we can count are the countable nouns, right? And mostly all the common nouns and collective nouns come under the category of countable nouns. So we can say that countable nouns are nouns which can be counted. They can be in singular form, that means one, like one dog is here. So it's a dog. And if more than one is there, then it's plural. So books are the plural form of countable noun. Similarly, apples, because they are more than one. So countable nouns can be singular or plural. There are more examples of countable nouns like here one apple, and if it's more than one it's apples and it has become plural. Pineapple, pineapples, cucumber, cucumbers, strawberry, strawberries, grape, grapes. So that means countable nouns can be singular if they are one, and if they are more than one then it will be plural. So when you are counting the nouns and they are one in number, they are singular. When they are more in number, they are plural. So I hope you all must have understood about countable nouns. So let's do the exercise which is given on page number 10. The question here says, underline the countable noun in the following sentences. I will have a glass of milk. So we have underlined glass here because we can count glass. Glass can be 1, 2, 3 and more. So glass is the countable noun. B part, there is no space for you in this car. We can count car. It can be 1, 2 or more. So car is the countable noun. C, the child threw a stone at me. Child. Child can be one or more, so it's a countable noun. Stone, these can also be counted, so stone is a countable noun. D part, I have taken 3 glasses of milk, so plural is here. So that means it is countable noun. Many children were playing in the garden. Children can be counted and garden can also be counted. So it's also the countable noun. Let's move ahead. Now it's uncountable nouns. As the word itself is telling, uncountable. That means the nouns which are not counted. Uncountable nouns are nouns which cannot be counted. Can we count water? No, we cannot count. Can we count cereal? No, we cannot count. So all these are the uncountable nouns. Few more examples are salad, dressing, lettuce, ham, water, milk. These are the uncountable nouns because we cannot count them in number. We can't say 1 milk, 2 milk. No. So that's why it is uncountable noun. Now let's look at the book. On page number 10, there's another green cloud which is saying uncountable nouns are those which cannot be estimated in quantity. Quantity, we cannot count them in number. Most of the proper and abstract nouns are uncountable nouns. These cannot be expressed in singular and plural form. For example, honesty, childhood, India, Ganga, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, etc. These all things cannot be counted. You cannot count honesty. You cannot count childhood. So these all are the uncountable nouns. Now let's do the exercise. Question number 1 says, fill in the blanks with suitable countable and uncountable nouns. So that means it's our wish to write either countable or uncountable noun. A part, I had dash for breakfast. I had milk. It's uncountable. I had the choice, so I have written an uncountable noun. B part, some houses are made up of bricks. Bricks can be counted, so it's countable. I can write either countable or uncountable. So in the first blank, I have written uncountable. Here I am writing countable noun. C, dash is a great virtue. Honesty. It is uncountable noun. I cannot count honesty. D part, dash leads to a fall. Overconfidence. When you're overconfident, yes, I know everything. And what happens in the exam? You forget everything, right? So that means you were overconfident, so it led to fall, that you couldn't do anything in the exam. So overconfidence leads to a fall. Overconfidence, uncountable noun. I always wanted a dash in my house. What you wanted? A PlayStation? So it's a countable noun. And as I had the choice to write any, so I had written a PlayStation. I hope you all must have understood this. Let's move to question number 2. Underline the nouns in the sentences below and say whether they are countable or uncountable nouns. A part. I have switched on all the lights. Lights, we can count them, so it's countable. For countable nouns, I have written C. B part, the sudden noise startled her. Noise, you cannot count noise, so it is uncountable. C, her hair looked silky. Hair, we cannot count hair, they are more in number, so you cannot count them, so it is uncountable. That painting is beautiful. Painting, we can count painting, so it is countable. Old houses are made of stones. Houses can be counted, stones can be counted, so it's a countable noun. I hope you all must have understood this. Now let's recapitulate. Uncountable nouns, they are the things that we cannot count, like music, information, rain, water, work. These all things cannot be counted, so these are the uncountable nouns. On the other part, if I talk about countable nouns, these are the things that can be counted. A cat, a dog, 2 cats, 3 dogs, 3 cats. So these can be counted in number. That's why they are countable nouns. Here we have more examples. In the category of countable nouns, we have eggs, banana, olives, hot dog, burger, apple, carrot, tomatoes, watermelon. And if I talk about uncountable nouns, it's milk, salt, sugar, jam, meat, rice, honey, tea, cheese. These all cannot be counted. That's why they are uncountable nouns. And these all can be counted. They can be one or more in number. That's why they are countable nouns. So children, I hope you all must have understood the difference between countable and uncountable nouns. So your home assignment is Revise countable and uncountable nouns and complete the exercises on page number 10 and 11 in the grammar book. Thank you. Hello children. Hope finds you all in the best of your health and safety. In continuation to the previous video, let's learn more about nouns. We have learned that countable nouns can be singular and plural nouns. Singular nouns name one person, place, animal or thing. Like here we can see there's a picture of one cat. So it is cat. And plural nouns name more than one person, place, animal or thing. In the picture we have two cats. So that means it's more than one, so it's plural. It's time to learn the rules to change singular into plural nouns. Among those, let's learn rule number 1. Most words add s to make the plural. In your junior classes, you have learned one and many. Like if we have one apple, we say apple. And if we have more than one apple, like two apples. So s is added to the singular noun to make it plural. Similarly, book, books, name, names, shop, shops, friend, friends, chair, chairs, teacher, teachers, train, trains, month, months. You can see in all the examples we have added s at the end of every singular noun to make it plural. Right? Let's learn rule number 2. Add es to the words ending in ch, sh, s, ss, x or z to make the plural. So this means if your singular noun is having any of this at the end, then we will add es. Let's have a look at the examples. One box, x, many boxes. Cross, crosses. Church, churches. Dish, dishes. Fox, foxes. Bunch, bunches. Ostrich, ostriches. So, wherever your singular noun with end with ch, sh, s, ss, x or z, then we will add es at the end of it to make it plural noun. I hope you all must have understood this. So let's move to rule number 3, which says when the letter before a y is a consonant. Consonants are the letters except vowels. A, E, I, O, U. Except these 5 vowels, any letter before y is a consonant. Then y will be changed into I before adding an es, like baby. Before y we have b, not a vowel, so it will be babies, ies. City, cities. Pony, ponies. Family, families. Lady, ladies. Everywhere you can see that before y we have a consonant. Whatever it is, but it's a consonant, not a vowel. So therefore we have added ies at the end of every singular noun to make it a plural noun. And y has been replaced by I. I hope you all must have understood this. Let's move to rule number 4, which says that when words end in ay, ey, iy, oy and uy, that means a, e, I, o, u. As we learned in the rule number 3, that if before y you have a consonant, then ies. And if you have a vowel before the y, then we will only add s to make it a plural. Like one donkey, two donkeys, day, days, boy, boys, key, keys, delay, delays, play, plays, guy, gays. So that means wherever a vowel is there before Y, then it will be only S to be added at the end of the singular noun to make it plural noun. I hope this is clear to you all. Let's move to rule number 5. This is another important rule which says when words end in F or FE, then they change into V before adding ES. Like one knife, two knives. FE has been changed into V and ES has been added. Leaf, leaves. Life, lives. Half, halves. Hoof, hooves. Wife, wives. Thief, thieves. Everywhere we have changed F or FE into VES. Now rule number 6. When a word ends in an O, that means at the end of the singular noun, if there is O and comes after a consonant, add ES to make it plural. Tomato, O, and just behind it it's T, which is not a vowel, so it is tomatoes. Cargo, cargoes. Mango, mangoes. Hero, heroes. Volcano, volcanoes. Flamingo, flamingos. So everywhere we have a consonant before O, so therefore we have added ES to make singular noun into a plural noun. These are the basic 6 rules to change a singular noun into the plural noun. And as exceptions are there with every case, so in singular plural also we have some exceptions which are called irregular plural nouns. Like one among irregular plural nouns we have child, children. One child, more than one children. Woman, woman. Man, men. Goose, geese. Mouse, mice. Foot, feet. Tooth, teeth. Cactus, cacti. Person, people. One person and many people. Similarly, ox, oxen. So these are the irregular plural nouns which are the exception to all the 6 rules we have learned just before. I hope you all must have understood this. So now let's move to our book where we have let's do exercise on page number 12. The question says rewrite the following sentences into singulars. So the nouns which are given here will be converted into singulars. A part. The cows feed on grass. Cows. So cows will be changed into singular. So the answer would be the cow feeds on grass. B part. These teachers are men of great experience. These will convert into this. Teachers, teacher, are is a man of great experience. So we have converted these plurals into singulars. Let's move ahead. C part says the children are playing in the garden. So children is plural. Let's make it singular. The child is. R has been changed into is because our subject is child now. The child is playing in the garden. D part. There was no policeman to control the traffic. So that means there was no policeman to control traffic. Let's move to page number 13 where it's time to practice. In that, question number 1. Use the correct word from the brackets to fill in the blanks. His house is in a complete shamble or shambles. Children, it's saying that his house is in complete shambles, that it's completely messy. So it will be shambles. Our team made a good score in the second inning. C part. May I borrow your scissors? Children always remember whether they are one or two, we say scissors. You can say one pair of scissors, two pairs of scissors. Scissors remain same in singular and plural because they are made up of two knives. So we call them scissors. D part. They think that by giving away money, they have made dash for their earlier crime, amend or amends. So the answer is amends. That means they have compensated. E part. When are your dash going to start? Holiday or holidays? So when are your holidays going to start? I hope you all must have understood this exercise and completed the same in the book also. Now let's move ahead. On page number 14 only, we have the next question. Write one common noun for the proper nouns used in the sentences given below. A part. You can buy pens, pencil, papers and books from this shop. So which shop is that where you find all these things? That's called stationery shop. So we will write you can buy stationery from the shop. All these things come under the category of stationery. B part. Tables, chairs and desks are generally made of wood. Now under which category you will put table, chair and desk? It's furniture. So furniture is generally made of wood. Let's move ahead. C part. He sells roses, daisies and marigolds. So under which category we can put roses, daisies and marigolds? That's flowers. He sells flowers. D part. I saw cats, dogs and horses on the road. Dogs, cats and horses come under the category of animals. So we'll write I saw animals on the road. E part. I bought apples, mangoes and grapes from the market. So they all come under the category of fruits. I bought fruits from the market. I hope you all must have understood and completed these blanks. Let's move ahead. Question number 3. State whether the underlined words in the following sentences are of plural form or singular form. So, let's see. A part. I got many gifts on my birthday. We can see S's there. So, it will be a plural noun. Right? Let's move ahead. B part. Have you finished your task? So it's a singular form. C part. The farm had geese, cows and hens. It's plural. The ladies went out of the room. Ladies. So it's again plural. The children went to play in the giant's garden. Children. Again plural. I hope you all must have understood this. Good. So practice all these things and stay safe, stay happy. Thank you.